Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Me and a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and hey, guys, listen, this is episode 130. That is ridiculous. That is way too much. I need to slow down. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm going to keep going until I either die from a donut overdose or just die in general. So, welcome. This is a movie podcast, as you can tell from the title. But hey, listen, if you're not really a movie fan, hopefully I can convince you to be one. So with that being in mind, if you are new to this show, what I do is I'll go over some weekly movie news, some trailers that dropped in, and I'll have a review of specific movies coming out that weekend, and I will have my box office results for the weekend. It will be fun shit. All right. So, but before we begin, first of all, how you guys doing? Are you guys doing okay? You guys doing pretty good? You keeping it 100, keeping it chill? If you're watching on YouTube and you want an audio-only version of the podcast, it's on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes. Then you can do just that, and link will be in the description below for the Spreaker one. But for everything else, just search. If you're listening on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that jazz, and you want a video version of the podcast, and you want to see me, I guess, flail around with a bunch of shit behind me, then you can do that. You have that option. So, yeah, without any further ado, guys, let's get into it. This is going to be kind of a shorter episode. There's not really much to talk about, and I'm only doing one movie this weekend instead of two. And then for next weekend, I'm going to discuss a little further what's going to happen, but it's going to be different next week and the following week after that for the show. But let's start with some movie news. It's 2/3 comic book news as usual. So let's jump right into it. The first piece of news is that Wolverine 3, the third one in the Wolverine franchise, the Origins one, never existed. So it's actually just it's two movies right now in this franchise. We had the Wolverine come out in 2013, which I liked quite a bit, except for the villain. Didn't really care for that, but everything else was just awesome. So I'm really looking forward to the third one. It comes out next March, I believe, March 2017. And the producer, Simon Kinberg, who's produced, X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past, and X-Men Apocalypse. He's on the circuit for Apocalypse right now. And he basically said that Wolverine 3 will be rated R. And if Deadpool was not successful, I'm going to tell you guys this right now, if it was not successful in the slightest, they would not be doing this whatsoever. But having Wolverine rated R, I'm really pumped for it. I'm really stoked to see how far they can go, because this is supposed to be Hugh Jackman's last outing as Wolverine. So if you're going to do that, you need to go balls to the wall and just have him berserk a shit, with his claws and stuff, killing some other fuckers left and right, and, dropping more F-bombs than he's used to, because he always drops like that one F-bomb they're allowed to use, except for Days of Future Past. James McAvoy had that honor, but in First Class, he had like the best cameo. Hi, we're starting this, fuck off. He was at the bar and Professor X and Magneto were trying to recruit him. He just basically said, fuck off. Yeah, so having it rated R, I'm really excited to see how far they can push and stuff, because I heard that for the Wolverine movie that came out in 2013, they wanted to make it rated R, but, the studio was like, nope, PG-13 universe, keep it in that realm, which is not a bad thing. Listen, I've been a fan of the X-Men films since, the year 2000 when the first one came out. I've never had a problem with the rating. And now listen, if they want to push it to an R rating, why am I going to deny that? Why am I going to get so angry? Like, why are they switching it up? No, like that. Listen, if Deadpool's successful and they want to try it out with something else, go for it. I don't see what the problem is. But Wolverine is kind of like a dark, gritty, kind of dirty, scoundrel. And having him rated R is totally fine with me. Because even in the first, the Wolverine movie from 2013, the opening scene was disturbing. And I was like, holy shit, how'd they get away with this with PG-13? So I can't even imagine what the hell they're going to do with the rest of the movie. So, yeah, I'm super excited for this. Yeah, Wolverine, man, going to be rated R. It's going to be a nice final kind of outing for Hugh Jackman. The guy's been playing it for, when the third Wolverine comes out, he'll have been playing it for 17 years. That's nuts. So having it rated R, totally down with. So bring it on. All right, so the next piece of news is that the next X-Men film after Apocalypse will be set in the 90s. And that kind of makes sense to me because X-Men First Class was set in the 60s, Days of Future Past was set in the 70s, and Apocalypse is going to be set in the 80s. So it makes total sense that the newest X-Men film that they're going to do after Apocalypse will be set in the 90s. And James McAvoy is supposed to come back as Professor X for that 90s film. So we're going to have like that link that we've had since First Class all the way up until, after Apocalypse or whatever. So having it set in the 90s makes perfect sense. You got to keep moving up, and hopefully after this 90s one, they will reach modern time for the love of God. They've been just taking their sweet ass time in the past, and they're just like it's slowly inching up and stuff. So yeah, having it set in the 90s makes total sense to me. And I'm a 90s kid, so I would like to see what the hell they're going to do as far as costumes and set design and props and stuff. So it's going to be very interesting. But I'm really looking forward to it quite a bit. I look forward to any X-Men film. I'm a huge X-Men fan. I have all of the movies, including shitty Origins. But you know what? I'm a completist, and I like to complete sagas, trilogies, whatever. But yeah, I'm a huge X-Men fan. I always have been ever since I was 10 years old when that first one came out. So having the next one actually set in the decade I was born in, come on. Of course I'm going to fucking buy that. So I'm excited for that. That should be a lot of fun. And the last piece of news, kind of a short news week, guys. It's more actually trailer heavy, but the last piece of news that Jack Black is going to join the Jumanji remake with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and little Kevin Hart. I'm okay with this. Now, a lot of people might sit there and go, well, you were born in the 90s. Isn't Jumanji like really close to your heart? Yeah, it is actually. I don't think Jumanji is like a masterpiece of a film by any stretch of the imagination, but everyone that grew up in the 90s, like myself, that was one of the Robin Williams movies that really kind of stuck with us. I really like it. I still watch it from time to time. It's just a really fun movie with Robin Williams and stuff. This remake, I'm actually okay with. Like, I'm not going to get angry or anything like most people. I kind of want to see what they're going to do, and they say that they're going to homage, not homage, but like, pay, good respect to Robin Williams and stuff, and that's all fine and good. But having Jack Black in the movie, it's going to add that energy. It's going to add that zest and that pepper, that spark, if you will. And he's going to be the Robin Williams character. Kevin Hart, I don't know where the hell he's going to be, and I'm sure Dwayne Johnson's playing an elephant or a rhino. That's not it. Okay. Apparently I was misguided. I actually have no idea what the roles are, but Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart, supposedly they have good chemistry in Central Intelligence, and so having that in Jumanji plus Jack Black's kind of energy and stuff, and he was in Goosebumps last year, and that's kind of like a kid adaptation, and Jumanji is going to be the same thing, so he's going to add that type of flavor to it. So I'm actually looking forward to the Jumanji remake. Will it probably be as good as the Robin Williams Jumanji? Probably not, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be a little optimistic on it, not just shit on the idea and completely, but having Jack Black join it, it sounds like perfect casting to me. So I'm down. All right, so that's it for the news, guys. It's kind of a slow news week. I apologize for that. I'm gonna call up Hollywood and be like, "What the fuck, yo?" And I'm just gonna hang up the phone. They're gonna trace it back, and they're gonna realize who the hell just called them. All right, so let's talk about some new trailers that came out. There are 6 of them that came out, so this is gonna be fun, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so and actually, I have a really strong PSA for one of those trailers, but it's for a very good reason. All right, so the first, I'm just going to go down my list right here. The first trailer is the Inferno teaser trailer, and this stars Tom Hanks, Felicity Jones, and it's the third one in the Dan Brown Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons trilogy. I could care less. Listen, Da Vinci Code came out when I was 16 years old, 2006, and I thought it was fun, actually. I actually really enjoyed Da Vinci Code quite a bit. I don't really ever want to watch it again, but I do remember liking and stuff, and I have seen it repeatedly on repeated watch, I guess. I don't know. I'm tongue-tied this morning. But as far as Angels and Demons go, that came out in 2009, I believe. I did not like that whatsoever. It was just boring. I wasn't into it. I just wasn't engaged. I just sat there in that seat, and I took it. from Tom Hanks's weird wig, and I was just like, oh, please, I can't take any more. So I'm not really looking forward to Inferno, and this teaser trailer pretty much confirms that. I'm not interested in it. I'm just not into it at all. And that just might be me personally, but if you read the book or whatever and you're looking forward to it, please let me know in the comments down below, like, what you thought of the teaser trailer. But for me personally, I do not give two flying rat fucks about it. I just don't. Da Vinci Code is probably the only one I would ever like want to watch again. But as far as this one goes, it's just a teaser. It's not a full trailer. I get that. But just seeing the tone back again 7 years later, it's still the same fucking tone that we've seen from Angels and Demons and Da Vinci Code. I don't care. But hey, if I hear good reviews and another trailer comes out and I really like it, then I might go see it. But until then, I just, okay. The next one is another teaser, and it's called The Woods. I know, really original. I know, it's crazy. If you're watching on YouTube, let me go ahead and tilt my screen right here. The Guest is one of my posters in the background, and The Woods is actually directed by that director, Adam Wingard, and he also directed You're Next. And I really liked You're Next. I thought it was a nice, refreshing take on, kind of slasher, home invasion movies. I thought it was really kind of fresh and unique. And The Guest was the same way. A mysterious guy comes into town, kind of creepy, and his backstory is, revealed throughout the movie. And then you realize that he's basically Michael Myers, except a better looking Michael Myers. I actually interviewed Dan Stevens and Adam Wingard and Simon Barrett, who wrote, directed, and starred in The Guest. And I got to interview him. And Dan Stevens was a cool cat, man. He was really cool, but he was really good in the movie. And I really like Adam Wingard a lot. The first exposure I ever had to him was he did one of the shorts for VHS, and he also did one of the letters for ABC's of Death. I didn't really care for his ABC's of Death segment, but You're Next, The Guest, and now The Woods. Dude, the guy's on fucking fire right now. I know The Woods sounds like really generic and really basic, but I'm a huge sucker for trailers that are like this is also a teaser, by the way, of a group of people go to the woods and they find something mysterious. I mean, that's all the plot is, and that's all you need to know. But the teaser trailer gave me enough footage, enough beautiful kind of rich footage of the woods and stuff, and it had nothing but critic quotes throughout the entire teaser trailer. I have to let you guys know a little secret. All right, come a little closer. So, okay, back up a little bit. All right, so I'm a sucker for those trailers that are nothing but critic quotes. I get jazzed when I see that shit. When it's like, this movie will knock your socks off. And I'm just like, oh shit, will it? Will it knock my fucking socks off? Okay, let me watch the trailer again. And like another one's like, it will scare the shit out of you. It's like, oh my god. Listen, I've had some problems with my indigestion. I need some laxative resources. So man, if it'll do it, it'll do it. And then there'll be another one like, it's submersive, complex, and interesting. And this, they'll use obscure, vague words like that, and just put them all into one sentence, and there's your quote. But I love that shit. It gets me so much more pumped for the movie. And The Woods actually had some really good quotes, like, this will reinvent the horror genre. And, listen, when you put those fucking quotes out there, I will listen. Because it's like, okay, you're putting your balls and your dick on the table, and you're like, listen up. This is going to be one of the best in the genre. Get ready for it. And I'm fucking ready for it. And plus, the director's previous works with You're Next and The Guest, I'm totally on board. Listen, if a whole like teaser trailer was filled with like the worst sounding quotes, but it was like set with the music and it was set right with the atmosphere and tone, I'm totally down for it. If there was like a quote that popped up that was like, it will scare you so much that your testicles will just come off of your body, run away, and start a family in New Mexico, I'll be like, oh my god, I gotta see this fucking movie. Like, I don't even care what the quote was, as long as the atmosphere and the tone was right. I'd be like, yeah, I read that correctly, but it sounds intense. I gotta see this. So I'm a sucker for those trailers. This movie looks good. It looks like a really kind of fresh take on the woods horror subgenre. And that's what Adam Wingard does very, very well. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, the next trailer is Cafe Society, and it actually was the opening movie at the Cannes Film Festival. It's happening right now as we speak. And Cafe Society is the newest Woody Allen film written and directed, and it stars Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, Blake Lively, Corey Stoll, who else? Steve Carell. Essentially, Jesse Eisenberg goes to Hollywood, I believe, to become an actor or something. Anyways, it's like set in like that golden age of Hollywood. It's got like that Woody Allen flavor to it. It looks really kind of quirky and independent, and I love those type of movies, and I'm really looking forward to this. I really now Woody Allen's movies are like, I'm pretty sure everyone says the same thing. They're kind of like hit or miss. I totally agree. Annie Hall, one of the best movies ever made. In his most recent years, I really loved Midnight in Paris and Blue Jasmine. Those are fantastic little films. Cafe Society could be that. The set design, the art direction, and the costumes and stuff, they flourish and they give that golden age kind of touch to it, and it kind of just draws your eye into it. I just really hope there's a lot of substance there to go with the stuff that's surrounding around them. I hope there's like a really nice intimate story in the center of it, and that's all I care about. But it looks really good. It looks like a Woody Allen film, and I'm looking forward to it. And I've heard mixed things from Cannes, but that's okay. It probably won't be here for another few months anyway. So it means all those reactions will just fly out the window. I'll forget about it and I'll just go in there blindly. But this trailer looks pretty damn great. All right, and now these last three trailers are the best trailers of the week. I can't even decide which one's good. And for one of them, I will have a strong PSA for. So please listen up. That will be the last one I talk about. You're probably thinking like, what the hell is he talking about? This is crazy. I've never experienced this on the Real Me and Colin Movie podcast. I know it's fucking insane, but just hold your knickers and I will get to it. Assassin's Creed came out. Now this one stars Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard, and I like those two actors quite a bit. Fassbender can do no wrong. Marion, I've always loved her since Inception. Dark Knight Rises, whatever. But she was really good in that movie that she got nominated for recently, 2 Days, One Night, I believe. I really liked that one. It was really simple and just kind of like just really simple, but there was a lot of complexity within the character that she was playing and stuff, and then just kind of resonated on what people actually think of people and how money can be swayed with people and whatnot. And I thought it was a really nice one. So if it's on any platforms, I would highly suggest that one. But Assassin's Creed is based on the game. I have not played the game, so I cannot comment on like what the game looks like or whatever. I've seen snippets and like trailers and stuff, and that's as far as I can go with the content of Assassin's Creed. But as far as the trailer goes, because it's from the same director as Macbeth, the one that came out last year with Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard, I believe. So, and I never saw Macbeth, but I heard mixed things once again. But there's no denying when you watch that Macbeth trailer, it is fucking gorgeous. The colors are so rich and so saturated. You are just immediately drawn in just from visual eye candy. That's exactly what Assassin's Creed is. I've never played the game, so I have no idea what the story is or anything. I do know that he goes back to his time of his ancestors or whatever. And I don't even know if that's fucking right. I'm just kind of guessing. But the trailer, it looks really stylish. It looks really cool, and I love the way it's shot. The cinematography, once again, just like in the Macbeth trailer, just kind of blows your mind. You're like, holy shit. Like, even if the movie sucks, you're going to have some really great eye candy to look at. I hope it doesn't suck. But as far as the visual aspect goes, it is insane, off the charts awesome. The acrobatics and the stunts look really authentic and real and stuff. It looks like a really fun movie. And here's the deal. Warcraft and Assassin's Creed come out this year. These are the two movies that will make or break this fucking genre once and for all. I have yet to see like a fantastic video game movie. Are there cheesy ones that you can enjoy? Oh, hell yeah. Mortal Kombat, Doom. Yeah, do you guys remember the Doom movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Carl Urban? It is interesting, but it's a lot of fun. What can I say? Is it a great movie? No, but just it's fun. And Silent Hill is not bad. The first Silent Hill, I thought it was kind of cool. So video game movies haven't really gotten the due that they deserve because it is a huge growing industry. And I have a friend who is very into video games and whatnot. And, I've been friends with him, Jesus, for 7 years now. And he always tells me the stories of video games, and they're complex and rich and stuff. And I cannot believe that some of them haven't been made into film. Like some of these, like Mass Effect and BioShock. I've never played them, but, people would tell me the storyline for each installment, and it's just insane to me, like insanely good. So, Warcraft, I don't think it will do it. I think it will be a very giant blockbuster, but I don't think people associate it with video games, even though it is a video game movie. I think Assassin's Creed will be the one because it looks like a real film. Like, it doesn't look like anything cheesy or anything. It looks like a really good story and just a really good kind of science fiction type of assassin-like movie. And I'm all on board for it. It looks so damn good at cinematography. Now listen, a lot of people are bitching about the Kanye West song. I don't care. Does it take you out of the trailer? Sure. But I really don't give a shit because that's not, hopefully that's not going to be in the soundtrack. God forbid. Knock on wood. All right. Knock on wood again. All right. So I don't want any Kanye West in my movies. They want to do it for the trailer, whatever. I'm still going to go see it regardless. But yeah, I just hope that's not in the soundtrack. That's all. But it didn't really bother me. All right, and the next trailer I'm going to talk about is The Accountant with Benny Affleck, good old Batman himself, and it's directed by Gavin O'Connor, who did Warrior. He also did Jane Got a Gun. He did Miracle. And The Accountant looks really cool. Ben Affleck plays this kind of like reserved, kind of quiet individual who is an accountant. He's really good at math, and in his spare time, he likes to be an assassin, basically. But this trailer is really unique for several different things, but let me go ahead and discuss. Stylistically and just visually, it looks great. It kind of reminds me of like a Fincher movie almost, like a Fincher and like a Bourne movie mixed together. It looked really fascinating with visual choices. Second thing is Ben Affleck. He doesn't say a word throughout this entire trailer, but there's a lot going on with this character that you can physically see. He's very OCD. He doesn't talk to a lot of people. He's antisocial, but you know that he's really smart and like up in his brain, he is working constantly. It's just those rotors are going and stuff, and there's just a lot going on just from the physical appearance of his character, which I really enjoyed. And third of all, it just looks like a damn good movie. Like what a great mixture, right? An antisocial accountant becoming an assassin, spy, whatever he is. That sounds really cool. So yeah, it looks like it could be Oscar worthy. I'm hoping that's the case because it looks pretty well done as far as a filmmaking standpoint and story standpoint. Ben Affleck looks like he's going to kill in this movie. So I'm looking forward to The Accountant quite a bit. And the last trailer. So I should explain myself. This last trailer is really good. Like really good. It represents the movie quite well. But the only reason I'm going to tell you not to see it is because it spoils some really interesting and kind of key elements to the plot and sequences in the movie. And how do I know that? Because I've seen the fucking film, and I'm just warning you, take my word for it, it's a really good, intense thriller that you should just go in there blindly, pun intended, but you should not watch the trailer. Now, this trailer is Don't Breathe. Now, Don't Breathe comes out in August. I saw this movie at South by Southwest. And at this point, in South by Southwest, the movie was actually untitled. So I didn't even know it was Don't Breathe until we actually got in the theater and it was like, Don't Breathe. Joseph Wyeth, what's going on, buddy? So he's been on this podcast several times, and he commented on the Spreaker page, and he said, Assassin's Creed looks fucking bomb, and the BioShock Infinite story will fucking change you. I hope it does, because BioShock's got some pretty interesting shit. Anyways, thank you, Joseph. Thank you, buddy. The Don't Breathe trailer, it's a good trailer. Like, don't get me, like, this is what's weird about the movie. It's a good trailer. It represents it very well, because Fede Alvarez, the director of it, who also directed the Evil Dead remake, he came out on stage in South by Southwest, and he specifically said, like, I really hope marketing does not destroy this movie. In a way, it does because it kind of spoils a lot of shit. But on the same note, it's a damn good trailer to kind of get you involved in the movie. I don't think the trailer should have been longer than a minute. I think it should have been very shortened and just kind of tell you the brief plot synopsis, and that's it. And I'm going to tell you the brief plot synopsis, and that's all you need to know. These kids in their 20s, I say kid now, I'm in my 20s, whatever, you know what I mean. These people in their 20s, they go and rob shit from people's houses, and they take it and they get money to support their family and whatnot. I get that. It's good stuff. So one of their targets is actually a blind guy. And then they go into the house and they have to creak around, make sure they don't, because, he's got like heightened hearing in the movie's like a fucking superhero. But, and then they try to get their thing and then they get locked in, and that's all I'm going to say. It sounds pretty intriguing, right? It's really intriguing. But the problem is that that damn trailer spoils one of the best sequences in the movie. It also spoils one of the most interesting plot developments about some of the characters and whatnot. So go into this movie blind. If you want to know more about this movie, I actually reviewed it on my YouTube channel. You can just go on down my list of videos or whatever. It is there. Don't Breathe, movie review, South by Southwest 2016. Watch my review, and that's all you need to know. Because do not watch the trailer. This movie is a good thriller. It's a nice, suspenseful thriller, and it's a great follow-up to the Evil Dead movie, which I actually really enjoy, by the way. I like the original trilogy from Sam Raimi, but Sam Raimi did produce this with Bruce Campbell, the new Evil Dead movie, and I actually like that one quite a bit. So do not watch the trailer for Don't Breathe. Trust me, if you like very intense, very kind of surreal thrillers, just trust me on it, watch my review, and go see the movie. Do not watch the trailer. But it's a good trailer, but it spoils a lot. So it's kind of a weird mixed bag for me, but overall, I still enjoyed the trailer. It spoiled stuff. It set the tone just right for the movie, and I do implore people to see this, and I believe it's August is when it comes out. So it's crazy that I already saw this movie 2 months ago. I'm trying to remember it, but from what I can gather from my 2-month old thoughts is that this was a movie that stood out to me in South by Southwest. It was one of the best I saw. I loved it. Yeah, watch my review. All right, so that is it for the movie trailers, guys. Yeah, so what was your favorite trailer of the week? Comment in the place where I open my face and let me know. I'd say The Accountant was probably my favorite. Then Assassin's Creed for sure. Then Catfish Society, then The Woods, then Don't Breathe, and then Inferno, because no one cares about Inferno. So I'm sorry if you like those books. It's just I do not care about the franchise. So let's do it, guys. Let's jump into the meat. The appetizers are done. They are squared away. That is my name. Sorry. The appetizers are done. We're getting to the main course now, the main feast, if you will, for this fucking episode. And that would be my review of Money Monster. What is this movie? Okay, so it is directed by Jodie Foster, and it stars George Clooney, Jack O'Connell, Julia Roberts. And that's all I remember. And those are the three people that you kind of follow in the story, anyways. George Clooney runs a television program on like a Wall Street TV channel, and he kind of just bullshits advice to people on where to invest, where to pull out your money and stuff, and just kind of he's just a TV personality. That's all he is. He just kind of follows orders and does what he does. And then Jack O'Connell's character, he's kind of an everyday man, comes in there with a gun and threatens to kill him. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't need to say any more. So I'm going to be very vague about my review and whatnot, but that's all you need to know. And first of all, I got to say this before I break down this movie. Why in the hell does this movie get mixed reviews? I think people are way too harsh nowadays. This is a solid film. I don't know what else to say. It's a solid, entertaining film. I'm about to break it down right now, but I'm not going to say it's top 10 material or like the best movie I've ever seen. But God forbid, people, why can't you just go to the movies and just be entertained for Christ's sake? So let's get real and break down Money Monster. All right, let's start with the writing and directing. As far as the writing goes, I think the story itself is very contained. It's thrilling. It's entertaining. It's got some really kind of heartfelt moments, and it's got a lot to speak on the way Wall Street is nowadays, and just the corruption that's involved with greed and whatnot, and just how we perceive it as the American people, and what it takes to cause that uprising to take down these corporations. And that's what Jack O'Connell is doing. And I think that's what Jodie Foster was doing with the direction a little bit. But as far as the writing goes, I was engaged from start to finish. I love the way it was written. It was a very simple story. It wasn't very broad and complex. It was a corruption story. That's all it was. But it was told very well. I was entertained, and it was like a roller coaster ride from start to finish. I liked it quite a bit in terms of the way the story progressed with the characters, and the way it was written with the dialogue and whatnot. I like that quite a bit. If you want to move on to the directing now, I think what Jodie Foster did was create this Hollywoodized version of a self-contained thriller. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a fucking movie. Be entertained. But she was also kind of planting those little seeds of like corruption and greed and what Wall Street does to people in the middle class, and the working middle class Americans or whatnot. And the thing is, at the very end of the movie, I'm gonna try not to spoil. I'm gonna try to dance around it, but once everything's done, let's just say that, and it goes back to like people around the world. It kind of was shocking to see that throughout this journey that was happening before our eyes, everyone just kind of brushed it off, if you will. And like I said, I'm trying to dance around. I don't want to spoil anything if you guys are really interested in seeing this, because I think you should. In the theater, that's a little iffy, but we'll get to that. But I think Jodie Foster was kind of planting those little seeds as to like people that think of this situation in general. If you ask people on the streets, like, they don't give a fuck about Wall Street and what they're doing, but what they are doing is fucking people over, and that is wrong. And the thing is, I really liked the subtlety in it, because it wasn't like bash you over the head and stuff. It was just kind of like Jack O'Connell's character is what we all want to do with people that fuck us over with money, but you shouldn't put a gun in someone's face and stuff, and we need to have conversations about it. But what he does in the movie is kind of like a wake-up call for us as an audience to go, holy shit, we need to be a little bit more vigilant and careful as to what fucking Wall Street is doing, because we've had these crashes before back in 2008 and stuff. The Big Short came out last year and displayed that pretty damn well. So I liked what Jodie did, planting those subtlety seeds, if you will, planted throughout the movie with greed, corruption, and the social classes and whatnot. It's some interesting stuff. And as far as the characters go, she does a really good job with making us feel for the guy with the gun and stuff, because that's really hard to do in hostage type of movies, is to make us feel for the person committing these crimes. And you do that. You feel for Clooney's character, and then you don't, and then you feel for the gunman, and then you don't. It's a nice back and forth, and it's just really intriguing. I don't know what else to say, but I think Jodie Foster does a really good job directing the film. As far as the acting goes, everyone's on their A game. Fuck, it's Clooney, man. It's fucking Clooney. He's great. He's fantastic. There's a lot of emotion within his character, and a lot of development. There's a lot of cockiness. There's a lot of confident moments. There's some really kind of tender moments between him, kind of really kind of softer moments, and there's some really emotional moments towards the end. And it's like he did a nice full arc with his character, and I really enjoyed that. Julie Roberts was good. She basically played a TV producer, and I thought she did pretty well. Jack O'Connell was pretty great. I guess the only kind of bad thing for him is that he does have a pretty heavy, I think it's British accent, and he was trying to do New York, like, hey, yo, fucking Wall Street, man, they fucked me over. You know what I'm saying? You fuck, you geriatric fuck. So, Jack O'Connell was really great. And there was a certain part in the movie where I felt really bad for him. Like, very fucking bad. This was a guy that, is pretty much losing everything, and he's losing grasp of his life. And it's just really kind of sad to watch sometimes, but he does a great job. It's just that his accent kind of goes in and out, but it's not a huge deal. Yeah, I mean, his performance was better than the accent, so I'm not going to dog him for that. Cinematography wise, this is not a movie that's like visually stunning or whatever, but I do like the tightness within the cinematography when they're in the studio, because it heightens the tension and the intensity from the scenes and the way they're edited together and whatnot. So cinematography's fine, but it does kind of add to that, like I said, that tension when they're inside the studio and everything's kind of compact. Makes the story a little bit more intimate on this matter, and how it's intimate on the people that get screwed over on Wall Street. I thought that was handled very well. Editing wise, the movie's almost 2 hours long, which I didn't know that. I walked into it, I was like, oh, another hour and a half movie, this will be fine. 112 minutes, well, fuck me, it better be good. But I think from start to finish, it's a nice little thrill ride. It's got some great suspense. It's got some great character moments and some great commentary on Wall Street and greed and corruption and whatnot. So from start to finish, I was never bored. I never found any slow parts. A lot of people online are saying that when they're in the studio and then they diverge from the studio and they go outside, it kind of slows down that rhythm for them. I didn't think it did, because when they escaped and they went to other people on the outside or whatever, that was just advancing the story to me. So I don't understand why people thought they lost steam going out from the studio and going out to people on the streets. I thought it had great progression in the story. So that never bothered me. It was just a nice little solid thriller. I don't know what else to say. And so for that very reason, it is a solid, entertaining thriller that you don't necessarily need to see in theaters. You could probably rent this, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to see a good little thriller in the midst of, Captain America: Civil War and X-Men Apocalypse is coming out, and we have Neighbors 2 and the Angry Birds movie. If you want to see a smaller, more self-contained thriller with some really great commentary and messages on Wall Street and kind of how relevant it is today and stuff, then I would say go see it. But for me personally, guys, a very, very solid, entertaining movie. There's nothing more to say. I'm going to give Money Monster a solid B. So what did you guys think of Money Monster? Have you even heard of it? Comment in the place around my face and let me know. All right. So let's jump into the final portion of the show, guys. The box office results. All right. This is going to be some fun shit. Fun shit. All right. Gotta refresh the page. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So let's do the top 5. All right. First of all, I gotta say, The Lobster came out this weekend. If you're like, what the fuck is The Lobster? I actually saw it opened up at 4 theaters and made about $188,000. That's not too bad for kind of an independent movie and limited market, but actually, I enjoyed The Lobster. There was a lot of stuff to be said about that movie. It's not one of my favorites, but I enjoyed it. All right, so number 5 is Mother's Day. Fucking why Mother's Day was last week with 3.2 million, and right now, oh my god, its domestic haul is 28 million, and its production budget is 25 million. It needs to make about 50 to break even. Ain't gonna fucking make that. All right, number 4 is actually a new release, The Darkness, which I did not see for you guys because as much as I like horror films, I do not need to tell you whether The Darkness is good or bad. It looks blah. So The Darkness made 5.1 million. Its budget is unknown, and it made only domestic numbers, which is the US and Canada, 5.1. Guarantee it was made for a Snickers bar, a dollar coin, and maybe some lint. I don't know. All right, so number 3, I'm actually really surprised it made this much. Number 3 was Money Monster. I was expecting it to make anywhere from 5 to 10 million. It did a pretty good job. It made 15 million. And I think with next week coming up with 3 different movies coming out, it's the only thriller in the bunch. So if you want to see a good old-fashioned thriller with George Clooney and directed by Jodie Foster, I would say go see it. Its budget, though, is 27 million, which means it needs to make about 54, 56-ish with marketing to break even. So I hope it makes its money back, because I think it does deserve it. It's unrightfully being molested on Rotten Tomatoes right now, which I don't understand. Number 2 is The Jungle Book with 17 million. So it and Money Monster are actually pretty close, just a couple million off. Right now, Jungle Book domestically has got 311 million, and worldwide it's got 828 on a budget of 175. It's doing just fine. Jungle Book's a very good one, so it definitely deserves it. And then number 1, of course, you guys knew it was fucking coming. Captain America: Civil War with 72.5 million. That's pretty damn good. It only dropped 59%. That's kind of bad because Batman v Superman dropped like 70% in its second weekend. So I guess just people are getting superhero fatigue. I'm not personally. I don't believe it exists, but I can understand like average moviegoers to see like 2 or 3 movies a year, and they're usually big blockbusters, and they just saw Batman v Superman like, oh, I'll skip this one. So I get that. Its budget is $250 million, so double that, 500. But with marketing, I'm gonna say it needs about 600 to break even, maybe even more. But right now, domestically, it's got 295, and worldwide, it's got 940. So it's gonna break $1 billion pretty damn easily. So Captain America Civil War, you are a fucking beast. All right, guys, that will do it. Sorry for the short episode today, but that's just the way it goes. So for next week, I have to tell you guys I will be out of town from Thursday to the following Tuesday, so I will not have an episode next week. However, to make it up for you guys, what I'm going to do, the weekend that Apocalypse comes out, which is the following week, I will have my normal episode 131 for X-Men Apocalypse. I'll have the review, the trailers, the news, and all that stuff, etc. But I'm also going to have a bonus episode with just strictly movie reviews from this coming up week. I'll probably go see The Nice Guys. I'll probably review Neighbors 2 and the Angry Birds movie. So I'll probably have a separate kind of compact episode, maybe like 20, 30 minutes long. It'll be a bonus episode with those 3 reviews. But my next like official episode is 131 with X-Men Apocalypse. So I'm taking next week off, guys, because I will be out of town. Like I said, I won't be anywhere near a computer or whatnot. I will be in California. So if I have any peeps out there that are fans, let me know. I hear I have 2 fans out in California, one of which is a Stale Bagel, and the other is Pauly Shore. So, if I meet the Stale Bagel before Pauly Shore, I'll be totally fine with that. But, no official episode next week. So episode 131 will be 2 weeks from now with X-Men Apocalypse, with a bonus compact episode with my reviews of The Nice Guys, Neighbors 2, and probably the Angry Birds movie. So that is what's coming up. But until then, guys, listen, if you want to follow me on Twitter, then you can do that. It's @RealChaseLee, wabam. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube, just click that subscribe button, do all that jazz, and tell people this is the best damn movie podcast you ever going to fucking find on the internet. I'm the definitive one. That's a little cocky, but, I do really appreciate you guys listening, watching every single week. I do really appreciate it quite a bit. You guys are fucking awesome. If you're listening on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, or SoundCloud, you want a video version, link will be in the description below. And if you're watching on YouTube and you want audio-only version and all that stuff, link in the description below. You guys are fucking awesome. I'm Chase Lee, and this has been another episode of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast. And remember, just to reiterate one more time, the official episode will be 2 weeks from now, episode 131 on X-Men Apocalypse, and I will have a bonus episode with The Nice Guys, Neighbors 2, and the Angry Birds movie reviews that same week. So you get 2 separate pieces of content that week. I just want to let you guys know one more time that there's no episode next week. So I'm Chase Lee, guys. And listen, if you made it through this entire podcast and you're not a movie fan, well, hopefully I convinced you to be one. The intro and outro music is done by my friends band Fervent Rose. Check them out. They are blowing up in Dallas. And speaking of that, let me play them right now. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, Money Monster's getting unrightfully spooned hardcore. All right, I'll see you guys later.